Hey guys, it's your boy Progress, and welcome to a brand new video. If you want to follow my other social media, I've got my Twitter and Instagram on screen in the description, so if you want, then go check those out. The response to my last video was pretty good, you know. There was a lot of positive comments, but 90% of them were about how big I got and not actually about the topic, so thanks guys, that was awesome. In fact, the top comment had nothing to do with the video. It was literally just progress been lifting, so yeah, thanks. A quick thing I also wanted to mention is that I have a new EP coming out December 11th that is called Hello, and if you guys want to listen to that, please make sure that you look out for that date, because also I believe if everything goes to plan, I will be having a music video out for one of the songs that will drop the day of the EP in case you forget when it comes out. So I really hope that that ends up coming out because I want you guys to see that. But today's video really only exists because you guys wanted it to. In fact, I had no original intention on turning any of this into a video, but then I got non-stop DMs from Instagram and Twitter, and I got YouTube comments, and I got mentions on both Twitter and Instagram once again of everybody asking me what my opinions were on this whole Iann Dior album name situation. So I decided to put a poll on my community tab, and an overwhelming 89% of you said you wanted this to be a video, so here you guys go. But yeah, so Iann Dior came out with an album, and you're probably thinking, okay, cool, who cares? And that's the thing. You guys didn't really care that he had music that came out or a new album or anything. You guys were more concerned with the fact of what his album title was and what the cover art for it was. So today's video will be focusing around everything that happened with his album. I also want to make it very, very clear in this video that this will be my last video on Iann Dior for a very long time because it is so drawn out and I just want to have it over with. So don't worry, there'll be some new good content, you know, other than this type of stuff coming out very soon. And before we get into all this, if you don't know who Iann Dior or Taz Taylor are, I highly suggest you go and watch my other videos on those guys. I have an actual playlist now that I have made that is the Iann Dior Chronicles playlist. If you have no idea what any of this is about, you can go back and watch through those videos, which this video will also be added to that playlist so that you can get a full understanding of the situation. But yeah, if you read the title of this video, you would probably know by now that Iann Dior ended up naming his album Industry Plant. Wow, I wonder where he got that from. Yeah, Taz, you can give me my royalties anytime, bro. Now, people probably thought that I was surprised by this or that I would react like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Please remember that this was almost certainly Taz Taylor's choice to make the album name this, and that Iann probably had very little to actually do with it, because for some strange reason, Taz has this obsession with having the last say when it comes to this situation. But of course, not like in a reasonable way where, you know, each side gets to kind of talk it out and give their own opinions on everything, and then we come to a conclusion. No, Taz's way of doing it is like, oh, I blocked you on Twitter, so since I can't see what you're responding with, it just didn't happen. I got to this man so much that he literally tried to make a point by making an album title the same as what I called him in a video. But I'm sure that most of you have come to hear what I think about this situation, you know, maybe in a way of support, or maybe there's like a couple sad boys and e-boys out there who are just slamming away at their keyboard saying, oh, Iann totally freaking pwned you, he destroyed you, man, he gamer shot you, absolutely gamer. Well, no he didn't, and I'm still here, so deal with it. But yeah, I do want to go over a few things like my own opinion on the situation, as well as I want to get into what Iann and Taz actually had to say themselves about why the album was named what it was. So let's just get my opinion on the situation out of the way first. Do I still think that Iann Dior is an industry plant? Let me think. You know what? Actually, let me check my notes. Obviously, I think he's an industry plant. What am I, stupid? Based off of the information that I've put together in my videos on Iann as well as Taz, and the call that I had with Taz about Iann and the situation, as well as messages I've shared with Taz, and information that I've been provided by third parties in the situation, all of it leads me to believe that absolutely I believe Iann Dior is still an industry plant. I've also said it once, and I'll say it again, but the argument of, but his music is fire though, that is not an actual argument. Hey, editing progress here. I realize that that I just said a jumbled mess in this next clip, so instead I'm going to explain it in the easiest way possible. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that by trying to claim, like, that, oh, his music is fire, so that's the only thing that, like, matters to you, it's a straw man argument. If you don't know what that is, it's basically, I make a point or an argument that I'm trying to bring up and question or critique, and then you bring up something that I didn't even talk about, and try and use that as, like, the argument that you're attacking. So since I never brought it up, you're not actually going after my argument at all, you're just bringing up something that I literally don't care about. So just stop doing that, it's stupid. If you're a person who wants to blindly support an industry plant, whatever, you know, do your thing. But you definitely cannot go after me saying that what I'm doing is useless simply because you don't care enough. But when it comes to the actual name of the album and everything to do with this whole stupid Iann Dior stuff, I really think that this is one of the dumbest stunts that has come out of the Internet Money team in a very long time, and I will explain to you why. Which means now we're gonna get into the reasoning that was given by Taz and Iann as to why the album was named what it was. And we're gonna start off with Taz because oh, this is amazing, and I can't wait to show you. Taz took to Twitter with his explanation, which out of everything to happen, this is definitely my favorite, because once again, Taz is so confident in his explanation that he deleted his explanation. You know that saying that's like, oh, they're all playing checkers while I'm playing chess? This situation is a little bit like that, except I'm playing literally anything, and Taz is sitting in a sandbox eating rocks. But once again, guys, don't worry, because even though Taz deleted his tweets, you know, of course I got him screenshotted. In the first post he said, quote, Iann's album title is the best of the year. If people want to focus on other stuff instead of the music so bad, we'll call ourselves it so you can't say it anymore, and you're forced to just take the music for what it is, end quote. Yeah, see, that's not really how this works, Taz, especially not in this situation. With you calling Iann an industry plant, that's basically you admitting that he's being taken advantage of and used to partially ruin what music is supposed to be. This isn't a positive thing for you or Iann in this situation at all. This is just you saying I'm right. The people who are already saying, oh, but the music's good though, just listen to it, they already agreed with you. So the only thing you've done is made the people who are on my side of the spectrum of saying industry plants are a very bad thing, you being okay with naming the album that is just making those people say, look, we're right, this is a problem, and the people who might have been on the fence about this situation will just full-on see this as an admission of guilt on your end. This doesn't stop anyone from calling people an industry plant, and the fact that anyone thought it would do anything close to that just goes to show how dumb Taz is. Taz also continued to say, quote, also when you Google Iann Dior industry plant, going forward, you won't get other clickbait videos of people who have no clue what they're talking about. You'll get the album. Genius stuff. End quote. Oh, Taz, is that so? Okay. Okay, let's go on Google right now. Google Iann Dior industry plant. Let's just see what pops up. Just, you know, just for fun. Let's just see what pops up. Oh, my video is the first search result link. I thought that mine wasn't gonna be there anymore. His album's out. What happened? I think it's starting to become more apparent why Taz had to delete those tweets, because, it appears someone doesn't know how priority search results work. Even on YouTube itself, my video is still the second search result. Taz is out here acting like he was gonna completely demolish my video from the search results, but he clearly has no idea how the YouTube algorithm works. But once again, are we surprised? But now that I've shown what Kit Kat Chunky has to say about the situation, I'd like to get on to what Iann actually ended up saying about the situation, because he is the man who has the album itself, so what he's saying has got to be pretty, you know, just revolutionary. Almost change your life in a sort of way to be able to hear his explanation behind this. Or maybe it's not, and maybe it's just he's really stupid. Honestly though, if I'm being real, Iann's explanation of this whole situation is, if not just as bad as Taz's, or even slightly worse. In an interview that Iann did with Spotify, he actually explains a little bit, just briefly, as to why the album was titled what it was. So I will just read out to you what he says, because I'm not going to play the audio due to the fact that he's got his own music playing in the background, so I'm not getting a claim. Iann said, quote, I named my album Industry Plant because my name was so heavily involved involved with it. So if that's all the people are saying right now, let's put it in front of their faces and see how they react, end quote. Which, I have no idea how to respond to this. Like, I'm genuinely confused as to what point he was trying to make here. This isn't some deep, introspective, spiritual miracle type explanation. This is just stupid. This is like saying, oh yeah, you know, I'm a known arsonist in the area, so the word kind of gets thrown around a lot, so you know, I might just mess around and, I don't know, burn my house down and see how the firemen react. He is such a moron. Like, people really need to actually sit down and listen to what these artists say sometimes, because this makes no sense at all. How did he expect people would react? By saying, oh, I don't know, we expected this? The other stuff that I was able to find about him talking about the reasoning for the album being named what it was can be found in stuff like this Genius article, where they have him here quoted saying, quote, people want to box artists in these days and try to tell them who and what they are, when they don't see what goes on behind the scenes. This is my way of saying, I am what you say I am, and making people focus on the music, instead of what's organic and what isn't, blurring the lines and becoming the poster boy for the industry plant name, end quote. And once again, just like what I said when I was talking about how Taz reacted to this whole situation, I don't understand how these guys think that Iann is some kind of like savior by just admitting that labels have this massive problem of taking advantage of artists and trying to rework and destroy an art form in the way that they constantly do. It makes no sense to me. Iann is saying that he wants to literally remove the line between being a real artist who takes things from the heart and being a manufactured piece of garbage. Like, this is actual insanity to me. Not only should the rap community be afraid of this, but the music community as a whole needs to come together and really just take a stance and say, this is not something that is okay to do. This type of behavior should not be celebrated or just revered as being some amazing feat that he decided to do. We should be realistically holding labels to a higher standard than they've been held before. We have the capabilities to do that. Independent artists can grow to be just as big as people who are signed. You don't need a label anymore. The fact that they're still able to take advantage of people in this way really shows you that people still don't understand just how powerful something like the internet is as a tool. People really, really need to try and push for that and make a difference. Like I always say though, guys, it's up to you if you want to believe what I'm saying or if you want to believe something else and go research like that belief that you have. But since so many people were asking me to actually make this into a video, I thought that I'd give you guys my opinions on the situation and what I thought about everything that was said. So thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. I'm glad you guys have stuck around, even though my upload schedule has been a little bit, you know, on edge recently. I'm going to be trying my best to get things back on track, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Also, I'd like to give a big thank you to all of my patrons this month, and a special thanks to my $10 and up patrons, those being Medusa Lives, Farski, FruchtMarc, Midwestfunky, and Helen Gage. It means so much that you guys offer that much support to me. These donations really do help me a lot with being able to continue to make content for the channel, so thank you all so much for that. But yeah, once again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget, my EP is coming out on December 11th, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Baby, I just think I need to see